Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video like up. The moon hung low over Genoa City, its silver glow casting long shadows across the lavish Dumas estate. What began as an evening of opulence, where power brokers mingled under chandeliers and champagne flowed like water, had unraveled into a night of chaos and blood. The guests no longer laughed. The music had stopped. Somewhere between the wine cellar and the rose garden, a plan had gone horribly wrong, and now Nick Newman lay unconscious, blood seeping through his crisp dress shirt, a growing pool of red beneath him. But this wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. Nick. Sharon's voice cracked the night as she dropped to her knees. Her hands trembled as she pressed them against the open wound in Nick's side. Blood coated her palms, warm and terrifying. "Stay with me, please, don't do this," she whispered, her voice both pleading and panicked. Billy stumbled onto the scene seconds later, gasping for air as if he had sprinted across time itself. "What happened?" he cried, skidding beside Sharon. "Is he breathing?" "No," Sharon choked. I think he was stabbed. Or hit. I don't know." He tried to fight the guard, there was shouting, and then, her words trailed off as the gravity of the situation settled over them like fog. The powerful Nick Newman, always in control, now lay completely vulnerable. The man who had tried to save everyone was the one who now needed saving. Billy pulled out his phone, punching buttons, but nothing worked. "No signal," he growled. "Of course. Out here in the middle of nowhere. Where the hell is Kane? He promised we'd be safe." Then came a new voice, sharp and commanding, "Move." It was Sally Spectra, red hair wild in the wind, her heels in her hand, her face pale but determined. "I know what to do." Billy blinked. "Sally, what are you? Just trust me," she snapped. Few in Genoa City knew that Sally Spectra grew up in the chaos of carnivals and sideshows, a world of danger, injuries, and quick improvisation. As a teenager, she'd bandaged knife wounds, reset a broken nose, and once helped stop a circus worker's bleeding with duct tape and a vodka bottle. Those years had hardened her, and tonight, they would define her. "Billy, I need something clean. Towels, a jacket, anything." "Sharon, keep pressure here," she said, guiding Sharon's hands lower. "Nick, come on, breathe." Billy raced to his car, returning moments later with a travel first aid kit and a white silk scarf from a wardrobe trunk backstage. Sally wasted no time. She tore open alcohol wipes, cleaned the wound, and used the scarf to compress it tighter. "He's still breathing," she muttered, eyes scanning his face. "Shallow, but alive." Sharon stared at her. "How do you know all this?" "Let's just say fashion isn't the only thing I survived." The two women, once rivals, now worked in harmony, bound not by past heartbreaks but by shared urgency. Elsewhere in the mansion, Kane Ashby paced like a lion in a cage. His phone buzzed on the table, full signal. But he ignored it. He told everyone there was no service. That was a lie, and it was a dangerous one. Across the hall, Carter, the man Kane trusted more than anyone, sat nervously tapping his foot. Victor Newman had just left the room, and the look in Victor's eyes chilled Carter to the bone. It was a look that said, "I know you're hiding something, and I will find it." Carter leaned in toward Kane. "We can't keep this up. If Nick dies, he won't," Kane snapped. "Sally's in there. She won't let him." "You think she can stop a punctured lung with a lipstick and a scarf?" "I think," Kane said coldly, "she's the perfect distraction." Carter's eyes narrowed. "You set him up, didn't you?" "I protected my interests," Kane replied. "Same thing." But they were no longer alone. Behind them, Amanda Sinclair had entered the room quietly. Her presence was calm, deliberate, but deadly sharp. "Protected your interests," she repeated, her voice like glass. "You mean like hiding the murder weapon under Nick's sink?" Kane stiffened. "You don't know what you're talking about." Amanda folded her arms. I know enough to ask questions. And I know when someone's lying. Victor Newman wasn't a man to beg. But tonight, he was a man who would do anything. To save his son. He met Nikki in the study, where Amanda had left documents on the table, a signed affidavit from Carter claiming responsibility for hiding the murder weapon. There were two versions. One cleared Nick but left Kane untouched. The other exposed the full truth but implicated half the room. Victor picked up a pen. Nikki stopped him. You can't do this. Not for Chancellor. Not for your legacy. Victor looked her in the eyes. This isn't about legacy. This is about blood. Nikki nodded slowly, tears in her eyes. Then we do it together. Back in the side corridor, Carter cracked, I did it, he whispered to Chancellor, who had cornered him near the pantry. I planted the knife. Kane told me to. He said if we could pin it on Nick, it would end the investigation. Chance pulled out a recorder. Say that again. Carter gulped. He said if we could frame Nick, everything would settle down. That no one would question it. That the Newmans would do anything to protect their own. Chance's face hardened. And the delay in calling for help? He told me to stall. Said a little more blood would make it more convincing. Outside, the ambulance finally arrived. Sirens cut through the night as EMTs took over. Sally stepped back, exhausted and shaking. Nick was conscious now, but barely. As he was loaded onto the stretcher, his eyes locked on hers. You saved me. Sally shook her head. No. You saved all of us. I just stopped the bleeding. Victor appeared, placing a hand on her shoulder. You have my gratitude, Ms. Spectra. She didn't smile. Save it for the courtroom. The next morning, headlines rocked Genoa City. Sally Spectra saves Nick Newman. Kane Ashby under investigation for cover-up. Victor called a press conference, flanked by Amanda, Nikki, and Chance. With Carter's confession and evidence of Kane's deception, Nick was exonerated. Sally stood in the back, arms crossed, watching the machine of justice move. It didn't erase what had happened. It didn't undo the pain. But it was something. Sharon joined her. He asked for you, you know. First thing when he woke up. Sally nodded, her voice low. I'm not the hero here. Yes, you are, Sharon said softly. And maybe now, people will finally see that. But just as the dust began to settle, a new storm was brewing. At Crimson Lights, a young barista handed Lily Winters a flash drive. You dropped this last night, he said.